Welcome. In front of me is an iPhone 17 Pro, and today I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the newly released device. So, let's get straight into this. There we go. Oh, that is a hideous color. Wow. It's a color only the Tim Cook can like. Anyway, below that we have our Type-C to Type-C charging cable along with some paperwork, and well, that's about it. So we get for about $1,000 or $1,100? Oh, sorry, $1,100. Okay, so in a second you'll see the display right here, which is a 6.3 inches in size, so actually a relatively small device. This is the smallest Samsung S25, so this is a very compact device, and obviously this is about the same size. The difference between these screens are 0.1 inches, so for all intents and purposes they're almost identical, but this phone actually weighs like significantly more. God, that is a chunkers. Anyway, 6.3 inches display size. We have 1206 by 2622 pixel resolution, LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED display. Wow, that's a mouthful. 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR10, but not 10 plus, so it's not certified. And Dolby Vision, that is certified. And 3000 nits of peak brightness. Now, for simplicity's sake, for people that don't know what I just spew out of my mouth, it means that the display right here is good, like really good. And moving on into the other thing that matters with iPhones, I would say, is the cameras at the back. So the cameras at the back are all 48 megapixel sensors. So we have 1.6 aperture 24mm wide lens, 2.8 aperture 100mm periscope telephoto, and 2.2 aperture 13mm 120 degree ultra wide. And with those cameras you can do 4K up to 120. I think 120 is referring to slow motion, although I could be wrong about that one. And 1080p gets you to 240. Now that is definitely slow motion. We also have support for ProRes RAW footage from Apple or Apple Log2. Didn't know that log videos needed a sequel, but okay. And a 3D spatial video audio for the VR headset usage. Now at the front we have our selfie camera. That is an 18 megapixel multi-aspect, which means f-all, 1.9 aperture wide sensor that does basically the Dolby Vision HDR, just like the actual back one, which I didn't mention. It does 3D spatial audio, ProRes as well, and Apple Log2, and also 4K 60, 1080p up to 120. And yep, the cameras seem to be absolutely solid here. And Apple has been really good no matter what version of the device you have. Their cameras have always been, basically without a doubt, always great. And something that I can say about, for instance, as an example, things like this. So as an example, this was what I'm gonna say was being used when the device was released, or like a month or two after release. I got it, and I was with someone that was using iPhone 13, not like Pro or anything, just a bare 13. In low light conditions, that device completely shot all over my phone in terms of quality. Low light photos and videos were just uncomparable to what my phone was producing. This felt like a piece of shit in comparison, while iPhone was basically able to produce fantastic looking videos and photos, even in the kind of unfavorable conditions with an old device compared to my brand new flagship, which obviously is a testament to Apple having just fantastic cameras in general. And seems like their devices have been great even 3-4 years ago that still outperform apparently a Samsung. Now I am nitpicking here. This is, like I'm saying, a low light performance, which apparently Samsung completely struggled with. And I don't know if this would still be the thing I did here. I don't know if that was correct. There was some like software problems with the camera for Samsung when it released. But the story is, it did fail, while old iPhone didn't. So I think that matters. Now, one more thing at the back that I didn't mention is we have our LiDAR sensor, as basically every Pro version of these devices does, and our flash along with the mic. Now, in terms of the internals, we're looking at, wow, pathetic battery of 3988. Now, I've already have a couple people in the office trying to argue that the iPhones have good battery life no matter how garbage their battery is. And I call copium. You must be snorting some hard shit to be coping this hard, because I don't care that the phone has great optimizations. Shit, I can turn off my phone and it will last me months. I don't care what optimizations are being used. This is software. We're talking about hardware right here. And hardware-wise, this battery's garbage. It's just a typical lithium-ion battery instead of silicon carbon, like you would expect from a device at this price range released at this time. But apparently every major manufacturer seems to be having a brain aneurysm and realizing that there is something better, which would cost them a little bit more to pop into their devices. So here, iPhone does the same thing, refuses to acknowledge that there is silicon carbon battery, which would actually push this battery to closer to like 5,000 milliamps from below 4 that it right now has, which would obviously mean that the battery life here would be even better. Now, the idea for me that I struggle is that basically people got Stockholm syndromed into thinking that single day of battery life is good enough is absolutely insane to me. It's good enough to last you a day, but wouldn't you maybe like to have to charge your phone every other day, or maybe even less? Wouldn't that be nicer? So with that, if iPhone decided to actually put a battery like they're supposed to, a decent one, and still keep the optimization, we could actually look at a device that could have possibly more than 2 days battery life. So that would have been nice. But at last iPhone decided, or Apple more like, decided to cut costs and for their premium device not give you the premium treatment. Typical. Anyway, other than that, let's talk about the build right now. Actually, wait, no. Sorry, we're gonna go back because I just talked about the battery, or raved about it more like. So moving on, we have 12 gigabytes of RAM. Good. We have 256 gigabytes of storage as a base entry of this option. And for a Pro version, I would consider this to be okay, nothing like great, but the fact that the 512 and 1 terabyte exist, but at a egregiously moronically expensive prices, that's where I kind of have a problem, because Apple is deliberately making those prices insultingly expensive, more than they ever should, because they want you to subscribe to their cloud storage. Not much more to say to that one. I think it speaks volumes on it about itself. Now the storage that we do get here is the NVMe, so that's pretty good. And powering this device is an Apple A19 Pro processor, which is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best processors you can get, so nothing bad to say here. It's in a positive way, moronically stupidly fast processor that outputs so much power that cell phone has no business even having. These devices have more power than most people's laptops. So with that out of the way, you can play games on these phones that are designed for computers at like pretty decent like spec computers with dedicated graphics cards. Like you can run here the ported versions, I should add, of things like Assassin's Creed that came out, or Resident Evil. These games on here look phenomenal. They look console-like, I would say, of an experience, while running in your palm of your hand at a really stable, good frame rate. So it seemed like 60 frames when I was testing it out on previous generation, and it was buttery smooth, looking phenomenally on a mobile processor. So that is insane in general, that phones have so much power, and like I said, more than you'd probably ever need from your phone. One problem that I will say with these kind of thing, it's an iPhone, they don't have any kind of desktop thing happening here, so you have insane amounts of power and not much optimization done for like multitasking to utilize this much power, which would have been nice if you can just, for instance, plug in a external display, have a desktop mode, and use this like a normal computer. I doubt Apple will do that, because obviously that would cut away from cost of or profit from like iPads or even MacBooks. If you can get something like this, plug it into a display, and boom, you have a full-fledged desktop. Could be done. Hell, Samsung has it, but I doubt Apple will do that. But just know that these phones have plenty of power to do this kind of tasks in general. So it's just a decision not to. Now, in terms of the build quality right here, we're looking at glass front. So this is the ceramic shield 2 glass, aluminum alloy frame, and a glass back. Now, glass back probably refers only to this portion right here, as the aluminum alloy kind of surrounds this area right here and all throughout. This is just a single cutout where you have glass. For the fact that we have wireless charging right here at 25 watts. So typically when you have wireless charging, anything else is apparently wireless chargers have problems with, so you get diminishing returns, so you could say. So glass is the go-to material when using wireless charging. So there we go. In terms of software right here, we're looking at liquid glass, and not much more to say. I'm pretty sure we all know what that is already from the amount of memes that came out. So yeah, just a flagship phone from Apple. Again, nothing really groundbreaking right here happening. There is nothing innovative here. We still have the same dynamic island that we had for, oh boy, what is it, six years or so. We still have about the same kind of looking device screen. I guess that could be said about every phone, with the only kind of change that happened a couple generations back is the camera button right here. So that's still present here, and the removal of a switch that was used to be here for silent mode, which I personally prefer a physical switch over the button, whatever the action button here is. So just personal preference, I do like switch. And Type-C charging port at the bottom. Again, that already happened last generation. So not much has changed, just a newer processor and newer cameras. If you have a previous generation of a phone, you could probably stay on that one and not really see much of a difference. Or maybe something tickles your pickle with this specific color, which on pictures it looks much better than in person. This looks I don't know, this doesn't look that appealing in person. It's kind of hard to compare to anything, because no one was crazy enough to put this kind of a hideous color on their devices or any kind of device. So this is what I would expect when someone makes graffiti on a wall and they pick the most obnoxious colors. This is what I would imagine that color to be. So anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.